Hi, Annaleigh. Nice to meet you.
Hey, hi Will, how you doing?
I'm great. How about you?
Good, thanks.
Congrats on Hold Your Breath. I thought it was great.
Thanks. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and you've been in so many acclaimed, I mean, in addition to movies, but you've been in so many TV series over the years. And I was curious what it's like for you to then jump and do like a super cool movie like this uh, in between.
Yeah, this project was such a pleasure. It was such a luxury to get to jump into a world um that was a 90-minute story, as opposed to a 9 hour, 10 hour, 8 hour story. Um, it's such a great reminder about the macro and the micro that a film can contain together, and how judicious the script has to be. This was just such always a smart, um, economical script from the beginning. Uh, and I think with all good horror films, there should be heart at the center of the horror. And in this one, we I think we particularly see it. And also, what an interesting comment on climate change,
Yeah,
historical climate change. There were so many pieces of this film that I thought were beautifully threaded through the narrative. But yeah, it was, hey, didn't we always, as actors, we're always like, I want to be in the movie. It's so exciting to tell a 90-minute story. I'm so grateful I got to come along for the ride.
of course. Yeah. And I loved your performance. So, yeah, it was a great end result. So, can't wait for everyone else to see it. And, you're reteaming with Sarah Paulson after American Crime Story. And I realize I don't think you had many, if any, scenes with her in that
Oh,
project.
no, we never even saw each other.
Okay. Okay. Because I watched that whole thing and I loved it. And then I was like, oh, they were both in that. And then I'm like, well, wait a second. But but yeah, so I mean, here you are, and of course you're sharing so many scenes with her and hold your breath. So I mean, what was it like? Did you at least get to sort of get to know you, like chat with her on American Crime Story at all, or not really?
We would cross paths, and also she's just one of the greatest of our greats. She's truly one of our finest actresses of our generation. So it's an honor to get to play with her. You sit down with her to act, and it's like, game on, let's play ball. I can't wait to um to throw that ball back and forth. And she's just so gifted. She's truly, again, one of our greatest. And then she's also a hilarious human. So it was so fun to work on such kind of heavy, deep material and then laugh a lot together. Also, the filming conditions were very accurate to the era and the period. So we were disgustingly dirty all the time.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, it certainly looked authentic. Yeah.
Yes,
So
it was wild.
yeah, well, that's great. That's great. I've heard that about Sarah, so that's wonderful. And like I said, I mean, you're keeping so busy with all these projects, and I noticed I can't wait for that series Happy Face that's coming out. And I was curious if there's anything you can share about that.
Yeah,
It's very intense.
it's a really interesting reflection on what families of murderers and serial killers have to navigate, and how both sides of the courtroom, the families of the victims and the families of the perpetrator, are both touched by the trauma of the crime. And it's based on a real person. And that person was just so kind and generous with her experience, and has been such an advocate for people who've been touched by the trauma of crime. And so hopefully the show, I think, will be an act of service to people who've also had any sort of trauma that's related to any sort of crime. But yeah, it's wild. It's wild that it's real too. I did a lot of serial killer moments, killer horror things in the last couple of years. I don't know what that's about, but
No, it's okay. I mean, it's all interesting, good stuff, and I can't wait to see that. And in the meantime, congratulations on Hold Your Breath.
Thank you. Nice to talk to you. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.